Hello, true believers. This is Doc Hogg, and welcome to episode 77 of Comics and Variety. If you like this channel, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post new videos, and for the sake of YouTube's search algorithm, please do hit the like button. Before I go on, I want to say that there will be no talk of the Rise of Skywalker here. I used to love Star Wars, then George Lucas made the prequels, which weakened my enthusiasm greatly, and then they let Rian Johnson direct The Last Jedi, which killed my interest completely. So if you are looking for a Star Wars free zone, which undoubtedly you are, you've come to the right place. Next up is our friend Macho Dan, one of the creators of the indie comic hero Blood of Patriots, here to talk about a Christmas contest he is having.
I'm hosting a contest, and it's not just any contest. This is a Christmas contest, and it's very special to me. You see, there's tons of people that are in need this time of year, and I want us to use the power of social media, Twitter, and indie comics to make their Christmas better. So here's how you guys are going to help. You've probably seen angel trees before. They're usually sitting in supermarkets or churches or things like that. And they have, they're just like regular Christmas trees, except they have these little paper cards all over them. And they're full of angels. See, each one of these represents a person or a child in need. So once you pick your angel, you have a couple things that you need to do. Number one is you got to take a photo with it. Now, you don't have to take a picture of your face or anything, but you got to take some sort of photo to let me know that you intend to deliver on the deal. After that, there's one more thing you have to do. You have to tweet at me. Link will be in the description below. And once you tweet at me, just let me know a couple things. Include the photo and tell me something about the angel, maybe where you got it. You don't have to include hometown or state or anything if you don't want to, but give me some sort of information and share it. Please help share this post right here. If you do all those things, then you're going to be entered to win some really fantastic prizes I'm going to tell you about in just a sec.
The prizes include lots of independent comic book swag, and if you want to hear more about that, there will be a link to that video in the description below. There is still time to enter. He doesn't pick the winner until December 26th, and so you can get him proof that you got an angel tree ornament until, well, Christmas. Okay, moving on to the last 3 issues of Event Leviathan. To reflect what I really feel about issues 4 through 6, well, I think this montage sums it up pretty accurately.
Is this the tipping point? I know we've said it over and over.
You think this is a tipping point?
And over and over.
This is a tipping point.
And over and
It's a very dramatic day, and I think it might be near a tipping point. Do you think this is a tipping point? The beginning of the end?
Beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end.
The beginning of...
Now, Doc Hogg, is that how you really feel? Do you really think that the last 3 issues of Event Leviathan were that momentous? I can hear you saying. Or is that just an analogy? And are you in fact saying that the way you felt about the conclusion of Event Leviathan was similar to how all of the Democrats, liberal pundits, and media types must have felt when Russiagate turned out to be a big nothing burger? Well, let me put it to you this way. I really enjoyed the first 3 issues, and sorry to say, yes, issues 4 through 6 are an utter disappointment. For those of you who don't know, Event Leviathan is about a villain that calls itself, well, Leviathan, that has destroyed all of the organizations in the world intelligence community in the DC universe, including Argus, DEO, Spiral, and Cadmus. A bunch of superheroes team up to track down and stop Leviathan, and the superheroes include Batman, Robin, Superman, Lois Lane, Green Arrow, The Question, Plastic Man, and Manhunter. And yes, I'm sorry to say that issues 4 through 6 are just a total letdown, especially when compared to the first 3 issues. And to kind of figure out why, I went back to my review of issues 1 to 3 to recall what I liked about them. And what I liked were 3 basic things: the action, the art, and the buildup of paranoia. Of those 3, only the paranoia continues in issues 4 to 6. The focus of the paranoia is now on the Manhunter, who has been framed so that the authorities think she is involved with Leviathan. But the heroes aren't sure that she's been framed, and so the paranoia continues. What didn't continue was the action. There are barely 5 pages of action in the last 3 issues, and they aren't very good, as you'll see here in a minute. Instead of action, the last three issues were consumed with speculation about who was Leviathan. And then there is the art. What happened here? You know, this is from the fight that Manhunter has with the other heroes after she has been accused by Talia al Ghul of being Leviathan. Manhunter freaks out and fights the other heroes, thinking that, you know, she's about to be killed or something. Anyways, compare that to this fight scene from issue 3. You know, what happened here? You know, this here from issue 6. I mean, it's terrible. You know, Alex Maleev, the artist, did he get lazy or something? You know, I don't know what happened in the last few issues, but boy, did he fall off his game. And then there is the biggest disappointment, which is this. There is little action in the last three issues, presumably because of the build-up to the big reveal of Leviathan's identity. And then we learn that Leviathan is the original Manhunter, Mark Shaw. Yeah, I had to go look that up. Now, I admit I was never into the Manhunter series to begin with, but even if I had been, I suspect this would have still been a pretty big disappointment. I mean, Shaw's heyday as the Manhunter was in the 1990s, and he has only appeared sporadically in comics since then. And then as I read up on Mark Shaw, it was even more of a disappointment. I mean, Shaw became a Manhunter because he was fed up with the criminal justice system letting criminals off. One of his story arcs, you know, back in the Manhunter series, is that he leads a cult of Manhunters only concerned with, you know, eliminating criminals and no longer concerned about justice. My point here is that it's not in any way a shock that Shaw is Leviathan. He was already something of a vigilante, if you know, not a criminal, and so becoming Leviathan is just another step for him. You know, he's already alienated. Perhaps this is a big step, and it certainly is a big one in terms of the power he now has, but it's not at all surprising. I mean, I wanted it to be a character that previously had been something of a straight arrow, or close to it. Someone who makes you wonder, you know, how did this character become so alienated and disillusioned? You know, who might fit that bill? And the story of how he or she became so alienated could continue into Leviathan Dawn, the series that will begin next year. But without that, and these last three issues being as disappointing as they were, you know, will I bother with that series? Yeah, I don't know. You know, at least there is a powerful villain in Leviathan, one that can give even Superman a run for his money. So that might make it pretty interesting. But it would be so much more interesting if Leviathan was a character that could have a very interesting story about how he or she became so disillusioned. But with, you know, Mark Shaw, you don't really have that. Okay, that music means that it is time for Hogg's Headlines, all the news that I want to talk about. Dateline.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
According to TMZ, quote, Santa Claus doing lines of Coke on your holiday sweater is not what Walmart's all about, according to the big box store, which is blaming Canada for the fashion blunder. And here is the fashion blunder. Nice sweater. Now, there are a lot of things to blame on Canada.
Say, Terence, what did the Spanish priest say to the Uranian gynecologist? I don't know, Philip, what? Where do they come up with this stuff?
But this, well, according to the article, Walmart says the sweater was being sold in Canada by a third party, adding the garment's message doesn't reflect their values. In other words, this one slipped through the cracks, and let's just blame the Great White North. So, Walmart bailing on this sweater hurts sales of it, right? Nope. The New York Post reports that the sweater is now a bestseller on Amazon. It has a 5-star rating on Amazon, and the description says, quote, perfect for cozy days with your family. Okay, that's all for now. I'll leave links to the Santa sweater on Amazon and to Macho Dan's contest in the description below. Otherwise, have a very Merry Christmas.
You better stock up, you better get high, you better inhale, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's packing a bomb, he's hitting it twice, he's rolling up a fat joint with northern lights. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're blazing, he knows when you are baked. He knows if you have heart to join past the last for goodness